4th of July. Happy Independence Day, Central Florida. This is Breakfast with Bridgett, live here streaming on News 6 Plus and ClickOrlando.com. I'm your host, Bridgett Ellison, and we're excited because we will be broadcasting live from Lake Eola this afternoon for fireworks at the fountain and our Salute to Heroes later this evening. And it's going to be a big day. It's going to be a fun day and a hot day. We want people to stay safe, and that's why Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos has been working in the Pinpoint Weather Center on all the advisories and everything that we need to know so that we also take it seriously as we get ready to head out. And happy 4th, Candace.
Happy 4th of July, B. Are you ready? Are you ready to embrace the heat?
As ready as we're going to be, right?
Lake Eola. Yeah, we're gonna be out at the tent after the noon show. So
straight out there.
We're going to be out there in full force. And you know what? Listen, at the end of the day, I know Central Florida, we are used to the heat. We're used to the humidity. But this is once again when we're cranking it up a little hotter than what we're used to. Interesting, though, someone did ask me about heat advisories and if they are different criterias depending on where you are. And for instance, a heat advisory in New York or Phoenix are very different than our heat advisories here. So our heat advisory criteria is when our feels like temperatures, meaning when you factor in the actual temperature and the actual humidity, you combine the two to what it actually feels like to the skin, goes above 108.
Oof.
So that's the zone that we are at. And the reason why it feels hotter when it's more humid is because basically the air is so saturated that it basically makes it extremely difficult for the human body to be able to sweat and perspire, and for that perspiration to actually evaporate off our skin, because that's the reason why we sweat, right? It's to regulate our temperature. And because it doesn't evaporate like it would when it's dry outside, that's the reason why it feels so hot. So when some folks might be like, you're exaggerating the temperatures and you're focusing so much on the heat index. Well, because the heat index is really, at the end of the day, what counts to the body. So just a little moment to drop some heat index knowledge for everybody who might be wondering. So let's take it to the maps, because you know what? When you're out at the barbecue today or out at fireworks at the fountain, let me reset this graphic here for you. It's really going to be the story. So drop some of that heat index weather trivia today. Shall we? All right. Let's look at the heat index for today. This is what we're talking about. Feeling like 110 to 115 degrees, potentially up and down the I-4, out towards the 75. Feeling like the triple digits along our coastline. Now, rain chances for today are going to be very dependent on where you live, or you're going to be around. So temperatures are going to be area-wide hot, but rain chances will be down to about 30 to 40% along our coastline. Then pushing a little further inland, goes up to about a 60% along I-4, and then up to about a 70% as we head into the I-75 corridor. So give me 1 second. Let me re-rack this show. Hold on. All right, here it is. I was in the wrong show. I need to go into my Breakfast with Bridgett show. Here we are. It's a weather alert day. Highs are going to be nearing records today. Our forecast high, for instance, in Orlando is 97 degrees, Bridgett. And then when you factor in the humidity, we'll be feeling between 108 to about 110. That's the average for today. That doesn't mean that some areas across our western zones won't get even hotter than that. So making sure you're hydrating and you're taking your cooling breaks, and making sure that you're also focused on your family, the ones who maybe aren't paying as much attention to their health, and maybe the kids or the elderly, making sure that they are staying hydrated. Looking at the heat index again, up towards of 114 potentially in the Villages, 109 in Orlando, 105 in Cocoa Beach. So all the areas here highlighted in orange are all under heat advisories, from Seminole County, Volusia. When I say